Where's Cameron, the face of Perth racing? It's an exciting day here on Saturday for the Perth Cup.
Simon, it certainly is. It's always a great day here on New Year's Day. We expect a big crowd here. It's always hot weather, great racing. And with the Perth Cup over the 2,400 metres, I think we've seen a pretty good field assembled for this Group 2 event.
Only the one Eastern visitor in Tara Man, Tony McAvoy's horse, and apart from that, the local field.
Yeah, exactly. Somewhat disappointing, I think. I really expected that we would have seen quite a few more over here. We had a few contesting the Railway Stakes and the Kingston Town Classic, but unfortunately they have fallen by the wayside, and others that were nominated from the East Coast have also fallen away, and we're left purely with a local field, with the exception of Tara Man, who you've mentioned, winner over 1950 in the past. He was placed last time out over 2,600, so I dare say there won't be a problem with him getting the 2,400 metre journey.
He's an interesting runner. Simon Price is coming over to take the ride. He's coming off a second place over in Morphettville last start.
He was very unlucky in that race too, but in saying that, they were, I think, 15, 16 seconds outside the track record there. They absolutely dawdled in that race, and he got held up on the home corner. And look, his effort was good enough, but I'm just probably not sure whether he is up to what we've got here. He might be up with some of them, but I dare say some of our top echelon horses here that will be contesting the Cup may just have a little bit more point-to-point speed that's required out there.
Now, looking at the track layout here, it's a fairly long run to the first corner, so barriers aren't going to play that much of a part, would you say?
Generally not. I think the way that the barriers have fallen today, I can't see anything really detrimental. I know Carolyn Grant wasn't happy with barrier 17 with Admiring, but Admiring is a get-back runner anyway, so all right, would have liked to have probably drawn a little bit closer. Admiring will get back. When you take a look at I think the whole field, there's nothing really untoward with the barrier draw, and I know a lot of emphasis is generally placed on what marble comes out, but I think when all said and done, horses will find their positions over 3,200 metres. They've got a long time to get balanced up.
How do you see the race panning out speed-wise?
Yeah, I had a look at the field earlier on, and there's a lot that sort of do go forward. Horses like Big Ted, he'll be up on the speed. Late Night Flight's a noted leader, although last time out the gelding took a trail. Rich Success could be up on the speed. Telexton could be the wild card from barrier 16. I wouldn't be surprised to see Dashing Dan Miller go forward with Telexton. He's more than capable. He's won on 3 occasions over 2,200 metres. And then there's a couple of others there. Mega Steel, he ran a very good race 2 starts ago in the Towton Cup when he came from behind. But here in the West, we've known him more so as a leader. So I think there's a few there that could lead. And I think at this point in time, the question of leading is up in the air, because you've probably got a half a dozen that could take on that role.
Looking at the weights, we've got Colour Correct top weight at 57. Then we go down to several horses on 54 who look to have got in pretty well compared to Colour Correct's weight.
Yeah, I'd agree. Unfortunately, with some of the Eastern States horses coming out, Cape Cover, Triple Honour, Colour Correct originally was allocated 55.5 in the race, and his weight rose to the 57, which I think is a weight that says he can't win the race. He has been in good form this campaign. His last start victory in the Cox Stakes was good, but the last 100 metres it was starting to show on him, and I just think that probably more so in relation to your comment, the ones that are on the 52 that didn't suffer at the hands of the handicapper when the weights were reallocated, some of those I think have got in pretty well. But even so, a horse like Gyno, as you've mentioned, a previous winner of the race, he does look well placed with what he's been reallocated. But I think Colour Correct, it's going to be tough. He is, at this point in time, the best horse in the race, but 57, it will be an ask.
Looking at Gyno, history is probably against him. I don't think many horses have won back-to-back or won the Cup twice.
Yeah, look, I'd agree. History probably says it's going to be a very tall order for Gyno to win this race, but he's been coming along nicely, and Lou Luciani, a master trainer, he knows what he's doing, and I've just been waiting for the blinkers to go back on Gyno, and we see that on Saturday. I think that'll be a master stroke from Lou. The horse hasn't been at his best. He has been working to hand nicely, and I just think that Lou has been very adept the way the horse has been placed of late, and I really do consider Gyno a serious winning chance here. I think he's got in very well in at the weights, and with the addition of blinkers, that will just have him a little bit more focused on the day. Over the 2,400 metres, he's got a good record, having won the Cup previously, also won the Derby at 3. So just think that he is a horse that certainly is in my top 3.
Now the reigning favourite is Ranger, the Grant Williams trained horse. Interesting breeding by Testarossa. The 2,400 must be very stoutly bred on the dam side.
Not really, no. Marriage Bay is the dam of Testarossa. She produced a very good galloper in Hard Rada, who was adept at 1,600 metres. 1,800 probably was his limit. Testarossa at this, Ranger at this point in time has shown that he is an up-and-coming talent here in WA. He has got the raw ability. The 2,400 metres, I think, is questionable with Ranger, but what we've seen on the track so far, indications are that he'll get the journey. I was just a little bit worried last time out in the 88. Admittedly, he came from near last on the home corner, but to my way of thinking, and going back watching a replay of the race, Western Jewel, the stablemate, just seemed to be getting away from him a little bit over the late stages in that race. And she's been up for a long, long time. She has got the breeding by being by Jeune out of a mare by at Talac. I just think that Ranger, he probably deserves to be favourite, but I still think there's that question mark there for the reason that you've just touched on. By Testarossa, and on the dam side, there's no real staying blood, but he's done everything so far this campaign to indicate that he'll get the 24. So a little bit up in the air there with Ranger.
Master trainer Neville Parnham has had some problems with God Has Spoken, but we believe that's all behind him now, and the horse looked to stretch out beautifully on the grass yesterday morning. Yeah,
exactly. The reports were that his work was good, so we can expect God Has Spoken to run a big race. He's been around over the distance before in the Derby as a 3-year-old. His form this campaign has been solid enough without being startling. He did win it at group level. But I'm just a little bit concerned. He's had that setback going forward to a 2,400 metre race. I'm not sure how the horse was treated, whether or not a lung wash was required, and if that's the case, there's always a little bit of residue there, and it just makes it hard to get the horse right. But he's a strong type, God Has Spoken. We've seen his full brother playing God in brilliant form this campaign, taking out the Kingston Town Classic. God Has Spoken competed in that race. I just think with the question mark over what's transpired with him fitness-wise, there's a little bit of a concern, but it wouldn't be a surprise to see him hitting the line strongly.
The Shane Edwards trained Guest Wing is an interesting runner. It's probably stepping up in class considerably, but it's really starting to strike some form.
Yeah, exactly. Guest Wing's by Right Wing, and we know that they'll certainly get a journey. And Guest Wing's really come to the fore past 2, placed in the ATA last time out at big odds. I think Guest Wing was around about 40 to 1 on that occasion, and there wasn't much in it at the finish. Western Jewel held out Guest Wing, and I just think that with what Guest Wing's showing of late, it won't be a surprise to see a race at odds put in by Guest Wing, trained by Shane Edwards. And Shane can get horses going over a journey. He's had success previously. I can recall Cassandra Shadow won an Oaks a couple of seasons ago, so he knows how to get them right for a 2,400 metre race.
Okay, well, let's put you on the spot. Your selections for the Cup?
Yeah, I've probably changed a couple of times since seeing the original fields, but I'm going with Big Ted. I was very impressed with his run in the Cox Stakes. He had the 59 on that occasion. He dropped significantly in weight, and I think he'll be up on speed. Big Ted for me. Ranger, the unknown factor, I've got him second best. I don't want to leave out Gyno. I think Gyno can win the race. And I suppose for a roughie, Mega Steel just could be one at longer odds who might run a bit of a race. His effort in the Towton Cup was very good, but for me, Big Ted each way.